I'm going to show you how I took this to this in my everyday routine using my all-natural skincare and all-natural makeup. So if you're interested in achieving this look in kind of like a 10 or a 15-minute morning, then keep watching. So I'm going to show you what I do on a day that I'm just trying to bust out of the house, which is a lot of days. It's my quick go-to clean skincare and makeup routine, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm using. We'll do that. I just assume sometimes, I don't know. But I'm going to show you what I use, and I'm going to start with skincare. I have been using Beauty Counter for a while now. You guys have reached out to me and been like, have you tried Beauty Counter? Have you tried Beauty Counter? And I'm like always so weary about MLM companies. I just don't even want to try them. And then I tried it and I was like, I was in New York and they have a freestanding store there. And I walked by and I was like, oh my gosh, I can try this stuff with no pressure. It's so cool. So I went in and I bought some stuff and I got some samples and I am in love. I love it. I scratched myself this morning because I ripped my fake nails off and my nails are all jaggedy. So just ignore that. Okay, for skincare, once a week, I do the charcoal mask, balancing and charcoal facial mask. Daily basis, the Counter Match Sleep Recovery Cream. I'm on the drier side and I use the serum and I'll just show you how I do that. So I start with the serum all over because it's just extra hydration. I'm not into toners or anything like that. I'd always rather hydrate than pull anything out of my skin. I do this first. Oh my gosh, that stung on my brand new scratch I just gave myself. This is a hydrating serum, so normally it wouldn't sting, but I literally just scratched myself. I'm really upset about that. And then the Counter Match moisturizer, you just pump it like that and it puts out how much you need to use. And like I said, I'm dry, not dry skin, but I use the Counter Match Adaptive Cream. And it has salicylic acid in it, so it's good if you have like dual climate skin, kind of oilier skin or normal to oily skin, but it made my skin kind of dry and flaky because the salicylic acid is too much for my skin, even though it's a really small amount. So I actually like the more nurturing creams better. So the Recovering Sleeping Cream is actually perfect for me for day. And I also like the Nourishing Night Cream. I got a sample in the store and it's pretty much gone. But anywhere that I tend to be a little drier, I put that on. Like if I'm dry in the cheeks, I'm just showing you, I don't really actually feel like I'm dry anywhere right now, but I'm just showing you what I might do. So I have been talking to my Instagrammers about this, but not you guys. I've tried a couple of the different foundation products from Beauty Counter. And the first one that I tried, I didn't like because it was too sheer and I didn't really realize they had a fuller coverage one. And Beauty Counter's concealer, while it's excellent, it's very tiny. And I would go through like a whole entire bottle in maybe a week because I use a lot of concealer. So I took the full coverage foundation in a 2 shades lighter than my shade. And now I have this as a concealer and it's humongous and I won't feel bad about slathering it on and it's buildable, which I love. So my husband's making noise downstairs. So all over my face, I use the Beauty Counter Tint Skin in Honey. It's the white girl shade. But as you can clearly see, it's not. So this is honey. See, that's honey. And I'm obviously not white, but so the pictures are a little bit not quite on point, but as with the other foundation that I purchased from them that I did not like, they send you a return sticker for anything that doesn't work out and you throw it right back in the box, the same box that it came in, and put the return sticker on there and just fill out what you're sending back and they refund you fully 100% what you paid for the product. So I've actually done that a few times, which is really nice because when you're ordering makeup in the mail, it's like, how do you know what's gonna work, you know, if you can't try it? And when I was in the store, I didn't get enough time to try all the foundations and things. So I had to trust that, oh, I can just return it if it doesn't work. And I've actually done 2 huge orders and 2 big returns. I've got my foundation on, as you can see, but I like it. It feels, when it goes on, it feels like a lotion. It's actually slightly hydrating, and I love that because I don't like anything going on and making me look cakey. So here is the same foundation, but in the shade Linen, which is 2 shades lighter. And I go in with that.
It's like magic, you guys. This is Linen foundation. I'm using it as a concealer. So it's like super hydrating, doesn't look cakey, and it's totally gonna brighten everywhere that I want brightened. Isn't that brilliant? Why do I have to be the one to think of all these things? All I know is I'm really frugal with makeup. I like to apply it kind of heavy and then let it sit because it's gonna get a little thicker and I can work with it. And that's the really cool thing about this foundation is it really does build, which at first I thought it didn't because it felt so good going on. It felt so much like a lotion. I didn't think it would build, but what you do is you put it on a little heavy.
And you let it get tacky, and then you can keep moving it and blending it. So I'm putting this on my eyelids just to brighten them up.
Trying to be like Desi Perkins here, but I don't have a really expensive camera. I just film with my phone, that's okay. So I'm just going to kind of work the areas that I like brightened around my nose, let it get a little tacky, around my mouth. I love filming a whole video with half my foundation on my lips because I look totally ridiculous, but that's okay. It all comes together in the end, right? And it works really well with your fingers. You don't need a special foundation brush or anything.
So I'll do another layer under my eyes just because I like it super brightened. And normally this routine takes me 10 minutes, but you know, I'm talking it out with you guys and like taking my time. But
let's get that on a little quicker so we can keep it moving. To be really bright under my eyes. Okay, so that is the Skin Tint foundation from Beauty Counter in Linen.
And you can see I have used this for probably a month now, and there's barely a dent in it. I love Alima Pure for that. So Alima Pure has this Rose Hips foundation powder, and I love it. This color is just kind of like a dark, I'll look up the color for you for some reason. Kind of grayish brown color, and that's what I use for contouring. So I use kind of like a thick brush like this. I like to do a little face contour. Like that. And I do a little up on the forehead. And I'm gonna blend this with my bronzer, so don't you worry. But I just do a line. Okay, so that's the Alima Pure Rose Hips powder. And then I go in with the Beauty Counter bronzer in Cabana. I accidentally ordered the light one first and I had to send it back because it was too late for me. But I just have this MAC brush. I worked for MAC, so I have a lot of their brushes. I like to be really bronzy. I love my eyes to look really bright, and that's where the attention I want to be drawn. So I love being very bronzed, and in the end, your bronzer is the first thing to kind of come off. So I feel like it's better to go heavy. And I'm gonna use some finishing powder in the end, and it's gonna kind of take away from it anyway, so it's okay if it's a little heavier. White brush, but it's dirty right now. And I'm gonna use that same Alima Pure powder because I like my nose to look like all symmetrical and cute. And right now it just looks normal. So I take the same contour powder, always tap your brushes off. And I come down the sides of my nose and then up into my brow bone. Like that with the same contour powder. It's okay if it's a little dark because we will powder. So come up around my tip. And if I'm extra fancy, I'll give myself a cute little nose tip here. Make that line really thin on the top. Okay, it might look a little crazy now, but it's all gonna look good in the end. I also have a very bright light on me. Okay, got that big scratch on my cheek. It's looking a little bit better now. And I'm gonna take this in here and in here. And now I'm just gonna take my brush here, a little fan brush, and I get an Alima Pure powder in Aspen. This is my like kind of highlighting powder. So it is the same Rose Hips foundation. I just didn't feel like buying a case for it because I don't really care. But that's where I am gonna highlight. Forehead, down the nose, chin. Okay. And I can blend any areas that are a little too bronzy with this. I'm totally watching The Bachelor over there. I never get to watch TV. And I think the show, silly as it is, very entertaining. I don't watch a lot of mindless TV, so. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest about the whole brow situation. I've never found anything better than the Anastasia Hills Brow Wiz, and I just don't really think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's a toxic product, so I'm going to continue using that. So what I do is I use the spoolie to comb all the hairs straight up, and I do the bottom first. So what I do is it's a really fine little head, and I just come in. Maybe I'll use my little mirror. I just come in really light strokes because I don't want my brows to look all fake. See that? See how that just gave me some shape? Okay, so the trick is in the front to flick up lightly because you don't want it darker in the front of your brow than in the corner. So I just flick up really light. And I just barely touch because it's better to go over it a bunch of times than to push hard and then you have like this really hard, weird looking brow. So flick up, flick up, flick up, come around, give some strokes, make them look like hairs. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side where it should start. And then I flick upward very lightly and pull down. Follow the shape of the brow where it should be. I don't think I could ever get my eyebrows microbladed because literally I change the shape of them weekly. Like however I'm feeling, if I want them to be higher pitched or if I want to be more straight across or fuller, just depending on the day, it just changes. So I just don't think I could ever microblade. Unless I got like a half microblade. Anytime you get a little too much, you can just take the spoolie and rub it out. I think the only way I could do microblading is if I just had them kind of add some hair, a couple hairs, like maybe in the front. And then I'd be like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna add some hairs and then make one look crazy so they look real, because I don't like the perfect eyebrow look either. Like I wanna see some hairs. I wanna see like a crazy hair, make it look real, you know? Like give me a crazy hair. Because that looks authentic. It doesn't look authentic to have perfect tattooed on brows, right? I want to comb the hairs down, and then we're gonna follow that line on the top. So now that we've combed the hairs down, I just come on in here and just connect the dots very lightly. Okay? You see, yeah, see what's happening here? Very lightly. This takes practice. The light touch is everything. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this side. Light touch. You want to see the hairs in there, okay? Want to see the hairs. You see how this side is a little bit too rough and this one looks better? So we'll just blend this one out a little bit. Okay? And then just go back in and barely touch. Okay, and the cool thing about this Anastasia pencil is it will stay on. Even if it's light, it will stay on. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like that. Just kind of blend. And then I leave it, whatever it's called, in soft brown. And I use the same color for brow. The brow is, I use dark brown, sorry. Soft brown for the filling. And it looks like that. And I only use, what I've always done is barely touched the product, barely, and then dab it off in the lid because I want to work with the tiniest amount of product because I don't want to have a really filled in eyebrow look. So I just barely want it still look like hairs. Just groom them in the direction I want them to go. And it just kind of fills them in a little bit. Boop, boop. Barely any product. This product, honestly, would probably last 10 years because you use so little. Up. So go with the hairs. Up, up, up. And then over. You're using the tiniest bit. And I have this brow brush that's kind of pokey. It's called Disguise Beauty Powder Brush. I don't even know where it came from. The Brow Definer. Disguise Beauty Powder Brush. The Brow Definer. I think it was free in some kit. And I was like, ooh, this is a good little brush. It has like a bunch of random stiff bristles in it. So it gives you, it gives a little, it really kind of like moves the hairs. Okay, see that? Ooh, don't they look real? Totally look real. Okay, so that same powder that I used as a highlighter, the Alima Pure Pressed Foundation in Aspen, I like them to look all sharp and clean. And this, every time I do this, people are like, oh, your eye makeup looks so good. And it's just a little trick. And you never want to use something shiny to do this. A lot of people get that shimmery eyeshadow and put it up here. Ugh, it just looks fakey and yucky. Okay, so do that in there. And we can, if you want to, chisel at the top. Just go around like that. You want, and when you get used to doing this fast, it doesn't seem like this big, huge chore and like all these steps. You just practice doing it and then it goes really fast. Like literally my makeup is so fast in the morning. So I'm gonna take that. I'm just gonna add a little under my eye for some brightening. I love these powders, and using these powders is like multitasking. The powder foundations need a little extra coverage. You can go in there like that. Okay, we good? We good. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting with my shimmer powder. This is my favorite. It's called Silk from Alima Pure. It is a pearlescent. I use it in a couple places, but I use it on the inside of my eye. In here, take it in a little bit. Here, on the inside of my eye. And then give my nose a little cute tip there. And then Cupid's bow. Like that. And then if you want a little bit of highlight, like a little luminosity, same powder. I love it. It's beautiful. See, now you're all kind of glowy. Gives me a little brightness. All right, so next we are gonna take, I love to use the bronzer as an eyeshadow. So this is the Beauty Counter Cabana bronzer, same one, using the same contouring brush. And I'm using this because I love to have like a bronzy, like I just went and got a suntan somewhere. So I'm gonna take this in here. As my shadow there. And then I'm just gonna blend it a little bit with a big brush. Not used to this like super bright light. My bathroom has really crappy lighting. Can you believe that? I deal with that. Much better. Okay, so we got that. So now I'm gonna take the shadow palette and it looks like this. It's the romantic one from Beauty Counter. Has all these colors in it. And what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna take a little bit of the truffle color here. It's kind of a shimmer. And I don't have the brush I normally use because it's in the bathroom and I'm not gonna get it, so I'm just gonna take a shadow brush and take the truffle, which is kind of like, it's kind of like a mauvey brown. I'm gonna take it in here. I'm gonna make this really simple because we already have the highlighter in there. We already have our contour color, which is our bronzer. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the middle color, which is Moon Dust, which is white. I have destroyed it because I like to get it wet all the time. And I'm just gonna do that as kind of like a little sparkle on the lid. Just to give myself a little life, okay? I'm gonna take Moto at the top. It's kind of like a dark gray. It looks more blue on here, but it's like a dark gray. And I'm just gonna take an angled brush. This is the 266 MAC brush. Tap off the excess powder, and I'm just gonna do
a powder line. I'm not getting it wet today because this is kind of like my more natural look. So we're just doing it dry today. I use a mirror. Who am I kidding? So I'm just touching. And the pigment on these shadows is really great. I was very surprised. I was actually very surprised by a lot of Beauty Counter's products.
I just didn't have high hopes that something natural would have a lot of pigment or payoff, but it totally does. That's perfect. And then I'm actually gonna do my under eye too. So, and I'm just doing a little, and like I said, this is a gray color, it's not harsh. When I did TV the other day, I was like, I think I'm gonna do my under eyes. When I went on the news, and it looked really good on film. Okay, so I have lash extensions on the top, which are really needing a fill bad. So I'm just gonna put a little mascara on the bottom. And I've heard that the Beauty Counter mascara is really good. I haven't bought a mascara in a while because I've been doing lash extensions. And right now I'm just using this Tarte one because it came in a pack. It was like
kind of like free, so I just did it, and I was like, well, for now, that's just what I'm doing. Because if I actually had to put mascara on fully every day, I would definitely get the Beauty Counter one. I'm just touching up here because literally, I lost half of my eyelashes last night.
I must have been sleeping like a maniac because like this side was totally full and now it's like half gone. Madness. Madness, I tell you. Like my dream color. And it's so funny because I wasn't gonna order the sheer lipsticks because I don't like sheer lipstick. But Beauty Counter's sheer lipsticks are not sheer. They have really good coverage. Here again. Sorry, I'm not a beauty tutorial queen, so. So this is Petal. That's fine. Okay, so next I'm gonna do a little bit of blush. Maybe I'll go through and speed things up a little bit. I don't know. Satin powder blush in Nectar, which I think is just kind of like sweet for every day. It's mattifying powder. It's basically clear, looks white. And I just kind of like blend everything in a little bit. So I have like an even finish. The areas that you put like the shimmer on is pretty much gonna stay. And then I'll fix my hair. I curled it a little bit, but it's been crazy. Need a new wig, okay? I do. It's getting a little dried out, and this is what happens when you buy blonde hair. You think I actually dye my own hair blonde? Chemicals. I'm gonna do a whole video on it, you guys. Don't ask me a bunch of questions because I'm gonna answer them all later. So, everyday look looks like this is my go-to for just like getting out of the house. It usually takes me 10 minutes to do in the morning. I was a makeup artist for a long time, so it's gonna take anybody else a little bit of practice to get to that and to be able to crank look out. But it wasn't a ton of products. It's not like a huge arsenal of products.